Welcome to Clyde Samvada, brought to you by the Hindu Temple of Scotland. Rama Navami, when you are listening to this, is on the day when we are releasing this episode. So Rama Navami is the birth date of Lord Rama. And for the Rama Navami this year, we thought, why not start a series of conversations where we go deeper into the different key characters of Rama. I'm sure while you have read Ramayana, you know their main storyline. But we thought we will go into little known fact about either their characteristics or the reasons behind why they were incarnated. So we thought we will kind of go into some of these little known tidbits around the Ramayana characters over multiple episodes. And if you have been in Glasgow, just last week we even had a Ramayana quiz, which was the first of its kind that we were doing in Scotland, and we had a lot of participation from both adults as well as children participating in it. So while the new temple in Ayodhya came in last year, we are kind of seeing a lot more of Rama related activities happening even in Scotland. So in that backdrop, let's go deeper into the key protagonist of Ramayana, which is Lord Rama himself, and let's look into his different characteristics in today's episode. And Narasimhan is a well-known face. If you have been following our podcast, he probably has the most views on some of the episodes that we've had in the past. And good to have Narasimhan again on the show talking about Lord Rama today.
Yeah, Namaskaram, Sreevas. Happy to be part of this Samvada again.
Super.
And
so when we think about the story of Ramayana, we know that like Valmiki wrote the initial version of Ramayana, and there is the story of the conversation between Valmiki and Narada. So why not we start there around the story of Valmiki a bit and then maybe go into Rama?
Yes, so that's what we can start as an initial episode on this Ramayana series. As usual, I need to do my Guru Vandana. So let me do a couple of slokas. Sri Saile Sadaya Bhatram Deepaktyadi Gunaranam Mithindra Pravanam Mande Rabjaja Matram Rabjaja Matri Yogindra Padare Kamayam Sada Tadai Tatma Sattadim Brahman Jamunim Bhaje. Also, I offer my sincere thanks and gratitude to all the scholars from whom I had an opportunity to learn, and whatever I'm sharing here, it's only because of them. Any mistakes that will be of my own, but all the credit goes to my acharyas. So on this one, we have the Ramayana. So there are couple of dhyana sloka. I will just very simply cover on this to start with, because that is a tradition for all the Ramayana thing. So Kujantam Rama Rameti Maduram Maduraksharam Ahuya Kavita Shakamante Valmiki Kokilam. So that is a dhyana slokam of Valmiki Maharshi, without him we won't have this Ramayana Itihasa. So this sloka, dhyana sloka, is what we always do in praying to Valmiki, who is Adi Kavyam of this Ramayana has compiled. And this Ramayana, we have said many times, Itihasas are Ramayana and Mahabharata. Prior to that, we all know the Veda Angangal, and then Vedantam and the Upanishads. All those have a very condensed meaning of realizing one Atma as a Jivatma, how to reach Paramatma or realize themselves and be in servitude, Kainkaryam we say in Sanskrit, to be Supreme Soul Paramatma. But that's all very complicated, very difficult to understand. So that's why we have all the Veda Sutram and all done by Vyasa Maharishi. We have all the Brahma Sutra explanations, Bhagavad Gita, all the Prasthanatrayam. But even then, for a normal people, it is difficult. So this Itihasa and Puranas, we are more like what we give to the kids, very bitter medicine, we do the sugar coat. Like this, the Itihasa of Ramayana, Mahabharata and all the Puranas were sugar coated with all the essence of Vedanta, Tattvas. And it's all happened. So the Itihasa means so it happened.
Itihasa.
So now coming back to quickly to the Valmiki Narada Samvada. So when the Ramayana happened, Rama, we all know the story, and we are not going to tell in detail about that. Rama went to Sri Lanka, rescued Sita Devi, and came back to Ayodhya. Rama Pattabhisheka happened, and Rama Rajyam was there. At that time, when Valmiki Maharishi was there, Narada Maharishi went to his ashrama, the Valmiki ashrama. And at that time, Narada was looking at all the people suffering, even though it is a Treta Yuga, people are still going through some sufferings and whatever it is. At that time, Valmiki Maharshi was pleased to see Narada Maharshi. He's a Triloka Sanchari. He always says Narayana, Narayana, Narayana Smaranam, always thinking about him. He did all the upacharas, pujas, and he had a lot of his cousin Valmiki himself. So that's what we are going to start. So in this episode, I would say, we will say Ramayana specific to Rama.
Okay.
Rama, we all, whether regardless of our gender, male or female, in our tattvas, we are Purushas. The Jivatmas are Purushas. So there are some, I'm good in some character, very bad in some character. Like that, no one is perfect. That's a universal phrase. When that is happening, then there are some human beings, supreme blessed souls, they are Purushottama. So that Purushottama can be one and only Narayana. That way we call in Ramayana is called Maryada Purushottam. So that Maryada Purushottam is a very common phrase used in North Indian context, but not many familiar to South India. But Maryada Purushottam is one and none other than Narayana, Sriman Narayana as a Rama. So when this happened, so we will dwell some of these slokas.
Okay.
So and then the meaning of slokas. Okay. It's not just chanting of the sloka.
Okay.
So
are they like sort of explaining the characteristics of what makes a person Maryada Purushottam?
Exactly.
Okay.
So I will need to refer to a couple of slokas.
Okay.
If you permit me, give me a second. What is the significance of Ramayana? As I said, the sloka says, Dhyana sloka says, Veda Vedye Pare Punsi Jate Dasharatat Maje Vedaha Prachetasa Asit Sakshat Ramayanatmana. So what it means is roughly, Dasharatha Atmaja, the first son of Dasharatha, who is Rama, he is none other than the incarnation of all the Vedas.
Okay.
Veda himself took the appearance of Ramayana. So all the Ramayana story we all know is none other than understanding the Vedas. We will cover this in the what is the tattva behind all these things. It's not that someone born, someone became a king, he lost the Rajya kingdom, he lost his wife, went over. It is not like that. There is a lot of hidden meaning, tattvarthangal, Vedanta meanings behind that. But when Valmiki had these questions, so what he has actually asked, I will touch upon this. So the first one is called the Ramayana, very first sloka. Ramayana has Valmiki compiled 24,000 slokas, we all know. 24,000 sloka he has coined in a nice such a way that for each 1,000 thing, the very first letter or in the first word is corresponding to each akshara of Gayatri Mantra. So Om Bhurvasvaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Divi Devanah Prachodayat. Each letter if you take, it will start the 1001, 1001, 2001, 3000. That way he had coined. So there is a Ramayana Gayatri also. Some people who can't chant 24,000, no one can do in one day. But in your daily Nitya Puja, I try to do whenever possible. Chant that 24 slokas alone.
First
One sloka
1001,
2001, 3001 until up to 23,000 and the final sloka.
Okay.
So it's called Ramayana Gayatri.
Okay.
So
this 25 put together.
yes.
Okay.
So then the sloka, what the very first sloka is called Tapaswadhyaya Niratam Tapasvi Vagvitam Varam Naratam Paribrabcha Valmiki Munipungavam. So Valmiki, as I said, we was pleased to receive Narada Maharshi, did all the upacharas, and he was saying to him, "Oh Narada Maharshi, you are a tapasvi. So you can do all the meditation, penance, always in thinking of Sriman Narayana. But that is not enough. One can be in meditation. But Swadhyaya means he is knowledgeable. Swadhyaya, chanting the Vedas and all those things. It's not only meditation but also knowledgeable. Tapasvi Vagvitamvaram. So if I can meditate and if I can be knowledgeable, is there any benefit? I need to have something in the social context, how you can speak.
Apply.
So Vagvitam, you need to have a very good communication skills to speak so that you can uplift the humankind. So that Vagvitam Varam. So
sorry to interrupt you. Like the tagline of us is also Swadhyaya Pravachanacha.
Exactly,
So it's
Swadhyaya Pravachanacha. That is
So
a line from
same
the Taittiriya Upanishad.
So it's also similar meaning. Yeah.
Swadhyaya Niratam Tapasvi Vagvitambaram Naratam Paribhabracha. So he said, Narada Maharshi, you are tapasvi, you are knowledgeable, and you have very good communication skill. Can you please answer these questions?
Okay.
Now this is the main part comes.
Oh, so the first is almost like a Valmiki asking Narada the question of the, and then the answers is the rest of the
Yeah,
Ramayana.
exactly. So what he says, Valmiki is now asking Narada Maharshi, Kod Vasmin Sampraptam Loke Gunavan Kascha Viryavan Dharmagyascha Kritagyascha Satyavakyo Dhritavrataha. This is one sloka. Like this, there are two more sloka. But what he says, do you know Narada Maharshi, who is in this whole universe the most having the embodiment of all the good characters? Question one. And who is the more courageous? Two. Who is righteous path? Dharmagya, follower of dharma. Who is a kritagya? By the dharma, who can do the activities? Satyavakya, who can be true to himself and can execute the true body embodiment? Satyavak. And who is the Dhritavrata, who is very determined in his sankalpa. If I want to do this,
Will do it.
I will do it. Like that, then he says, Charitrena ko yuktaha, who is so beautiful. Ko yuktaha, sarva bhuteshu ko hitaha, who can give to all the bhuteshu, means all the living beings, chit, chetana in this universe, hita, the sense of peace and tranquility, who can give to all the living beings in this universe. Then who is Vidwan, who is knowledge of everything. Who is Samardasha, who can see in all the things without any disparity.
Everyone being seen equally. Yeah.
And who is Kaschaisa Priyadarshanaha, who is looking at everyone with a lot of love and affection, and who the people can also to whom he can look as a love and affection, and who has won his own Atmavan ko Jitakrodaha. So who has overcome his own rage and anger? Because we tend to act in a fit of anger many times. We just go in the excuse of, oh, I am a normal human being. Yeah. But the challenge or the duty for human being to remain without rage and angry. And Dyutiban ko Anasuyakaha. So I will come on that one. And then Kasya Pibyati Devascha. So who is even Deva, Asuras, Demon, Pisa, who all these people afraid of whom? One person. And then who is Jatarokshesa Samyuga, who is protector of all of us.
Okay.
So like this, if I touch on this, there are 16 characters.
Okay, you got like
16 characters.
Finding a person who will fit all this criteria, essentially. Okay.
Is there anyone?
Anyone. Okay.
So I will summarize in the things easy.
Okay.
So Narada is asking Valmiki, who is a Gunavan, who is principal and virtuous, who is Dyutiman, who is very brilliant, who is Anasuyaha, means without any jealousy, non-jealous, Satyavakaha, who is truthful, Samarthaha, who is very competent and able, capable, and who is Vidwan, knowing everything, who is Atmavan, courageous and also self-composed, and who is Kritagyaha, grateful, like a thankfulness, gratitude, who is Viryavan, courageous, and who is Dhritavrataha, determined, who is Dharmagyaha, on the path of Dharma, who is Priyadarshanaha, extremely handsome to look, and the who is giving all the benevolence to all the living beings, Sarva Bhuteshu Hitaha. So now these 16 questions asked. When Valmiki Maharshi asked Narada, he didn't ask who is is there anyone having all the one? Who are all having this thing? Then Narada thought for a while. So he also felt, like he said, Trikala Jnani, all those things, but he himself felt a little challenged. But he said, I have an answer for this. But let me Buddhyam. When he says the word in Buddhyam means, it can be taken in two ways. So Valmiki Maharshi, Buddhyam means, okay, I have asked him very lot of tough questions, like you were cracking some big exams, civil service exam. So I need to think a lot and recall and write. That is one meaning. Another Buddhyam means, you have asked some question. It is going to be mesmerizing for me, myself, to elaborate all those things. Let me take a pause.
Okay.
So basically, when you ask them when two friends are meeting after so many years, you ask them back what happened in lifetime. Oh, that's a very big Ramayana. Let me pass.
Okay.
Then he will start when I was in college.
Got it.
Like that. So like that, Narada Maharshi knows everything. But he says, so in that Buddhyam, in the few minutes, he did the dhyana of Narayana and the dhyana of Rama. And he says, you asked 16 questions, 16 characters.
Okay.
Answer is only one. That is nothing that there is one thing called Dasharati.
Okay.
Dasharati means the son of Dasharatha is called Dasharati.
Okay.
So in Tamil we say Dasharatha Chakravarti. Chakravarti means supreme king, emperor. So Dasarathi, son of Dasharatha, Dasarathi. So in Tamil we say Chakravarti Thirumagan. So the son of Dasharatha is Dasarathi. So who is none other than Rama. He's telling Valmiki Maharshi, it is none other than Rama who is right now in Ayodhya in doing the Rama Rajya ruling for all of us. That's where Valmiki became very curious to know. He knows because, as I said at the very beginning, Itihas, it happened. So we have to keep this in mind. When this happened? Is it after the Rama's departure to all the Ramayana activities and Vaikuntha? No, he was there at the same time. They were contemporaries. We normally say like historians. So there are two types of historians who, I'm a historian, I write what happened 300 years ago. So you are dwelling in the past. But I am writing contemporary. So Valmiki is a contemporary historian in Ramayana Kala. Likewise, Vyasa Maharshi is a contemporary historian in Mahabharata. That's why in Mahabharata you will see many times Vyasa Maharshi comes and gives a blessings, gives some sage advices, all those things. So like this, so at that time, what Narada said is, you know Rama. Rama has, so he said, he is born here to Dasharatha, Rama, Bharata, Lakshmana, Shatrugna. They went over the Aranya thing, Vishwamitra went, they got married, the Sita, and then they went to, because of Kaikeyi, they went to forest for 14 years. At that time Ravana came and she was taken by Ravana to Sri Lanka. They met Hanuman and Sugriva. Sundarakanda happened, rescued the Yuddhakanda, and they are right now ruling back in Ayodhya. So this is what he said in a very nutshell. Like when you do your PhD thing, your thesis runs for 300-400 pages, but something in the very beginning, preface or synopsis,
Abstract.
only 2-page abstract. Like that, Narada gave only little number of slokas. That is called Samkshepa Ramayana.
That's these 24 slokas put together.
No. That 24,000 is each picked from full Ramayana 24,000 sloka to coin Gayatri Mantra.
Okay.
But this one is Samkshepa Ramayana, is a synopsis of the whole Ramayana.
Okay.
So Valmiki then observed with a lot of devotion from Narada Maharshi. Oh, this is the one. My questions are now answered of all the 16 Gunas.
Okay.
So we can do and how the Rama things able to achieve. Then he contemplate. Then there is a separate episode I will cover in the coming episodes. Then Brahma appears before Valmiki Maharshi. Then he asked him to Ubadesa all those Ramayana episodes.
Okay.
Then he started penning all the Adi Kavyams. Now I want to touch very briefly what is the connection of this in Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya.
Okay.
Very briefly.
Okay.
So what does it mean is, in Ramayana we have Rama always followed by Lakshmana and then Sita. And then we have things like we will touch in that Aranyakanda when they walk. Rama is going front, Sita is following her, and Lakshmana is following both of them, one behind the other another. It's a very common sketch drawing.
Photo.
So Rama is a Paramatma, Lakshmana is a Jivatma, Sita is the one who joins Paramatma and Jivatma. Okay. Basically, when you want to say something from father, you go and seek for first mother. So it's called a recommendation. Mother recommends to father. Oh, our son is asking this. Why don't we do like that? So that is a two interpretation. And another thing is when in Ayodhya we interpret as a Sri Vaikuntha, and from there the Atma Jivatma is represented as Sita. Because of the Prakriti, she is born in this Bhuloka. That Prakriti Mandala is Sri Lanka. She is born, when Jivatma is born in Prakriti Mandala, our Karma Vasana comes, like Ahankara, Mamakara. That's what this denotes. Sita as a Jivatma constrained within the Sri Lanka, and she has a Mamakara, Ahankara, got influenced by Ravana, Kumbhakarna, all the Karma, the Anubhava, like Rakshasis and all disturbing her, and then she is suffering. The Jivatma is separated from Paramatma,
and therefore suffering.
Okay.
Now then what you need is Acharya, the knowledge. That's where this Hanuman comes. So Hanuman is Acharya Guru. So Acharya Hanuman goes as a messenger sent by Paramatma Rama to meet and say the Sita Jivatma, there is one thing, you have got stuck in your Prakriti Mandala, you got stuck in Ashokavana. Now this Rama has sent a message, don't worry, we will come and rescue. Then Sita get peace of mind. So that's why Rama Paramatma, Sita Jivatma joined by the Acharya Hanuman. So that is the one other thing. Now when we say Rama,
that's a very philosophical way of looking at it. I mean, like you always just think about it as like a normal story, like
exactly
abducted when they are rescued Diwali. But this is a very different philosophical take on it. That's very interesting.
Yeah, exactly. That's the reason when I said initially Ramayana is just like a story like what you watch watching some film. There are
deeper meanings to it.
We say in our Sampradaya Swapadesham, Upadesham, there is underneath subtle meaning like these things, like the essence of Vedanta. Now what we say is, when you say Rama as a supreme, all these 16 characters, in our Sampradaya, both Rama, when I say Rama, it is applies as Narayana or Krishna or Narasimha, whatever it is. They have, like when you say you are a Bhagavan, Bhagavan means not everyone can be called a Bhagavan. One who has 6 characters. So one is Jnana, Shakti, Bala, Tejaha, Aishwarya, and then we have another Jnana, Shakti, Bala, Aishwarya, Teja, Viryaha. All those ones. See, I need to have knowledge. But that with knowledge I cannot do. I need to have power. With this power, people should get mesmerize me. So Tejas. And then I should have Virya, the means of executing it. And Aishwarya. So at my will, I can create anything. I can Laya, the Sankal, Pralaya, all those things. So now what is we have done is, again back to our the Alvars, all the Nalari Divya Prabandam, and specifically in the Nammalvar, the supreme of 12 Alvars, he has sung the 1000 songs of Thiruvaimudi. That is the essence of Samaveda, we say. But to put it so exactly, each 1000 is split is 100, 100, first 100, second and 10 hundreds are there.
Okay.
In that all Pasuram, Tamil Pasuram, it's all derived from same Narayana, Veda, Ramayana, Mahabharata and Vedas. But in a very more nectar Tamil. And what we say is, when someone to claim as a Paramatma, what he says, I'm the supreme, the Paramatma. So the first 100 denotes Paratvam, the character of Paratvam.
Okay.
And the next one, okay, you are supreme. What? So you are to be for some reason. So second is called Karanatvam. Karana means reason. Third one means, okay, I have a Karana, but can you be everywhere? You have to spread. That's why this Vishnu Gayatri says, Narayanaya Vitmahe Vasudevaya Divigi Tanno Vishnu Prachodayat. All these 3 words, Narayana, Vasudeva, Vishnu, what it means, he is there everywhere. Vyapti is called Vishnu. That's why that word is come from Vishnu. So the third one is called Vyabhagatvam. I am supreme, like an omnipresence. And the fourth one is Niyantitvam, means I can command. Who is need to do what is delegation, basically. And the fifth one is called Karunyatvam. So even though I am supreme, I need to be compassionate to all the Jivatmas. Like the king should be compassionate to his citizens, Karunatvam. And the sixth one is Sharanyatvam. So, okay, I'm compassionate. Then you have to say, okay, come and pray to me, I will do. That's why all this Abhayahastam, everything is there, you see in the Vishnu Devatas.
And this is very much related to what you said in the 24. Like,
yes,
a lot of the characteristics are sort of similar. So,
yes,
Alvas also trying to link back to those initial Samkshepa Ramayana concepts.
Yes. And then the next one is Shaktatvam, means the power. And the next one is Satyakamatvam. Whatever he wish can be executed. Now I have some wish, but I cannot do. I have some kind of limits, but that he doesn't have that limit. And the next one is Abhat Sakatvam. Whenever someone is in danger, you should be able to go in a friendly manner and rescue. And the final one, the next one, final one is Arti Haratvam. Arti Haratvam, you are longing for something, right? He will make that boon. So that's what the Varam, like what we touched, Varam Dadatiti. So I'm longing for something. What is the supreme longing one can have, Jivatma, is moksha. So then he is able to make it real. So he gives moksha pradhanan, we say in our sampradaya. So Rama is a real moksha pradhanan for all those. So these are the 16 characters. Narada Maharshi gave answer to Valmiki Maharshi. And this is how this one is what I touch 16 characters in Valmiki Ramayana. And then this 10 characters what we observe in our Alvar Thiruvaimudi Pasuram. So now we'll going forward how the other characters in Ramayana perceived Rama,
Okay.
how they perceived Sita Devi, how they perceived Lakshmana or Bharata. So starting from, it's not only those three characters. There are so many characters. In coming episode, we will dwell small duration. Say like Mandodari, wife of Ravana, Ravana himself, Kumbhakarna, Tara, the wife of Vali. How Vali perceived Rama, how Sugriva perceived, how Hanuman was so devoteful. What is the reason? How he was mesmerizing at Rama, Lakshmana, Sita always. How the Kaingaryam, the servitude of Bharata. We all say Lakshmana, great, he followed 14 years. But Bharata was holding the Ayodhya at that time for 14 years with utmost devotion to Rama. How that was all done. How even the Kaikeyi was in this Ramayana. And the Koshala, the mother of Rama. And Dasaratha. And we will touch upon Sita, and finally we will conclude with Rama.
Super.
So this is the plan.
Nice.
I would suggest to go on.
Super. I think it's very interesting to kind of look at Ramayana, one, not as a story, and two, look at it from different people's perspectives. Because like I remember as a kid, I've always learned the Mahabharata, which is like the kids version, the illustrated kids version of Mahabharata, and would have seen the Mahabharata on TV. But more recently, I think like 6-7 years ago, somebody told me that there is a book called Ajaya, which is Mahabharata told from Duryodhana's perspective.
Okay.
And that's when I read that book, that's when I realized that like from which angle you see the story, the same story is a very different story. So it's very interesting going forward if we can look at it from all these different people's viewpoints on how they are looking at Rama and Ramayana. I think that will be super interesting. So thank you so much, Anna, for sort of initiating this new series and sharing your knowledge on these perspectives.
Yeah, thank you.
So
I
much,
think
Namaskar.
we will wish our temple wish everyone, all the devotees, a happy Rama Navami. And I will conclude with the Mangala Slokam. Mangalam Kosalendraya Mahaniya Gunabdaye Chakravati Tanujaya Sarvabhaumaya Mangalam.